25, baby. We're back at it. We have 5 fingers. And we have not been canceled, which is just a blessing in itself. I am your host, Jay Chadwell, joined as always my co-host, Logan.
Hello.
The phenomenal, the kid, Hayslip. I
Hayes
haven't got a good nick.
Piglet.
Hayslove. Dude, I
Piglet,
forgot
that
about
was a-
Hayslove. Hayslove was a classic one from high
It was
school.
a different cat. We had to die so that Logan the man. Which I mean, apparently, all the comments on the last stuff. I'm a terrible father, not a very good man. So I have a couple redemption stories. As you know, I've just been a fantastic father.
Like this week, you were just like,
I
all hands on
changed.
deck.
I changed absolutely 0 diapers. I will never change. I'm not ashamed. All you other dads, get on my
It's not
level.
who I am. All right, so we got sports. We're getting rid of the top 10, but we are adding a segment of a tournament. Obviously, still have our draft. New tournament format. We'll see how that works out. The guessing top 10 is out. Especially after you did so bad at South Park.
Yeah, I've done incredible. We're going to have to, find something I can do eventually. Unfortunately, I'm so bad at everything. We've just pretty much found the formula so far. The most views and interaction is what makes me look horrible. And you know what? I'm here for it. I thrive off your hate. Your hate brings me nothing but joy. So,
Dude, every Batman needs a Joker. You got to be that for the good of the podcast.
I mean, he's the greatest villain of all time. Did you see the Joker 2 trailer?
Oh, dude. And the fact, spoiler, well, just watch the trailer. It's not like that's crazy.
There's nothing to spoil.
The fact that they're adding Harley Quinn makes them have to add Batman down the stretch, I think.
To be completely honest, I don't care. And actually, one thing I already don't like is that it seems like the actual Joker Harley Quinn story is that she is one of the workers in Arkham Asylum who falls in love with him, and he manipulates her. And I don't like the fact that she's already crazy. You understand that she's crazy by the fact that she would fall in love with the Joker, but I don't like the fact that they're both going to be living in their fake little world together. We'll see. I mean, obviously it was a trailer, it wasn't the movie.
Yeah, you just couldn't get a whole lot from that, and they didn't. I don't think they shared a whole lot of details. I'm sure people have done deep dives on them or not, but it didn't really show where it's going to start. At least in my mind, I think it's still wide open.
As you see her as a patient, I was just like, oh, that's a deviation that I'm not crazy about. You know what I mean? It's just what's wrong with it? I'm a very stick to storyline and original things. I mean, there's yeah.
So, carnivore diet officially over.
Well, I mean, I'm actually back today, so full transparency. Flew out Thursday morning. Thursday morning at 6 a.m. the carnivore diet was over. Had me nice Chick-fil-A breakfast, which, I mean, gosh, what was I missing? I'll be completely honest. My morale and my energy is at an all-time negative. Absolute
Dude, you've
negative.
said that 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I can carry us one more week, but next week you got to be there.
So this week, I flew from Cincinnati to Newark, from Newark to Syracuse, drove an hour and a half to Utica, spent Thursday in Utica, drove to Buffalo, spent Friday in Buffalo, flew to Atlanta, spent Saturday in Atlanta, and flew home on Sunday. And unfortunately, because I am a great father, I didn't just sit back and rest. I missed my children. I played with them all day long.
And they didn't even have to ask.
Yeah, no, they didn't ask. It was an expectation. When Dad gets home, you play because Dad plays with you. Because I'm a good father. So, anyway, so
Still
yeah.
not changing diapers.
No. You know. Listen, I got to cut.
Limits. Even Batman
Yeah.
limits.
Yeah, he's got to sleep at some point. He takes micro naps. It's 1 second. It's that's my diapers. That's my cross to bear. No, I do have a really funny story. I'm a pretty decent poker player. I really enjoy playing poker. I play poker a lot, and I've never lost at a casino until Thursday night. I have never had such a bad stretch of cards. I'm playing with terrible players, by the way. There's an old man who you could just tell was really gambling with that rip money when he made a bet. His hands were shaking like that.
Dude,
he was
just not to interrupt you, but I don't go to the casino. I've only been like a handful of times, but it is what you just said. You can tell when people are gambling like their life, like you're like, dude, just stop. Like, don't do that.
Why are you doing this? And it's like, and there's some other weak guys, and there's one, I'll just say, who thought he was going to the World Series of Poker, and Gollenstein took all his money. Anyway, I didn't get a card all night. Like, I tipped the dealer, and I'm like, hey man, like, can I get anything? Yeah, I was playing Hold'em. So, first good hand, I mean, I've sat there 90 minutes, and I literally, it's the first decent hand I've had, so I'm just bleeding blinds and occasional. It's just 1-2, but I mean, it's probably playing more like a 2-5 game. Everybody's a little more loose. So,
I mean, what were your cards?
Ace 10 hearts, okay. Ace 10 suited, right? So I raised the small blind to like 15. Guy jams 200. It was 200 max 200 table. Guy jams 200. And I'm like, okay, this is the only good cards I've had all night. Yeah, pre-flop. And I'm like, all right, like he's either got aces and I'm dominated, or he's got another pair and it's like a 50-50. He's got another high pair and it's a coin flip, right? So I call. He's got queens, okay? Flop, ace, like deuce. And I'm like, whew, baby, playing conservative. Here we go. Mama, I'm coming home rich, right? 5 on the turn, whatever. Queen on the river.
No way. Maybe that was like the dad gods, if you will. Not the dad gods, but the
this
dad
is
gods.
what you get for not changing diapers. Smite you.
You cannot change diapers.
Yeah.
We let you get away with that.
You can't just get away with this. Yeah. I was like, listen, we gave you a wife that like lets you do this. Now you're bragging about it. It's like, get out of here.
All right, real quick, and Logan just brought this up, and it's a good point. We're getting a ton of views right now. We appreciate every single one of them.
Ton, like 200 on Facebook, 50 on YouTube. Let's calm the ton down.
With Spotify too, across all channels, we're doing pretty well for a new podcast. We're doing pretty well, but the viewership to subscriber ratio is something to be desired. So if you haven't subscribed yet to whatever channel you are listening to, please go ahead and do it. Share and like. Go ahead and subscribe, and we really appreciate it. So just a really quick update on my weekend before we get into the fatherly advice of the day, which I'm like, it might be my
really
favorite segment. I'm just
really
excited about it. So Meg and I ran a 5K back in October or something like that, and we trained for it. So, not that we're good runners. We're definitely not. She's better than me. I'm a terrible runner. But we were, our bodies were in good shape enough to run the 5K by the time we ran it. And
so far from that.
All winter, I've been doing basketball stuff. And you know how different basketball shape is than distance shape. So I decided, okay, I got to get back in shape. After, I've talked several times on this podcast, like, okay, I got to get back in shape. I'm going to run a half marathon in August. That's what I'm going to do. I've ran one. I ran one with Jess back several years ago. But so I ran one. I had the 5K training back in October. I've been doing basketball stuff. I'm like, I'm all right. So there's this app called Runna that makes like your plan for you based on where you think you're at. So today was the first day. It started me out at 4 miles. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
That's a little extreme.
First 2 miles, I was all right. Third one, I was hurting. Fourth one, you're like getting to the end, so you're feeling better again. But the kicker is my knees right now, because I haven't trained any distance. It's terrible. And I hope Meg really supports our clips on Facebook, not so much our full. So if she watches this, she'll finally hear okay, Meg, you were right. But she's like, you don't need to run 4 miles without doing. And I'm like, I'm hurting, dude. I am hurting so bad.
I want you to know that if I tried to run a mile nonstop right now, I'm really good in short bursts, 50 meters, my body, but my knees on the pounding, I'm pretty sure I'd die. I'm almost positive that if I ran a mile straight without stopping right now, and I'm not talking walking, stopping, I'm talking let's sit down for 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure I'd die. I'm pretty sure if that's an automatic, if you diaper haters, just chase me for a mile. And you'll kill me. If I'm such a bad person, just chase me for a mile and I'll die.
Dude,
That's it.
What do you think your 40 time is right now?
My 40 time?
Yeah. Remember, like, booking. Top of the athletes are 4.445.
I know. I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to answer because I can't answer this correctly. If there's no winning this for me, and while I'm happy with being the laughable villain that everybody laughs at, it's like, okay, well, you say an 8, well, that seems like the slowest time in the world.
You can do an 8.
Oh, I know, but at the same time, if I say a 5.5, they're like, there's no way you can do a 5.5.
So you think 5.5?
Like, I don't know. A lot of people, listen, I'm self-deprecating. You know what? I'm dropping the character. I played the character. I could run a mile right now. There is so much left in this tank, and I will no longer.
Done.
I'm done. I am no longer. Listen, I grew up chubby. I was never in great shape. But there's an athlete under all this disgusting fat. I am the most athletic 5'10", morbidly obese, borderline diabetic, 250-pounder in the world. You heard it here
At this time or of all time? Because I got a 5'10" guy named Tim Hayslip that could put you in your place pretty quickly.
No. But what I'm saying is, first of all, it's like 5'11", let's be honest. About 5'11", 250, 32-year-old, morbidly obese, probably pre-diabetic. If you factor all those things in, I'm the most athletic of all time.
I think that if you put Tim Hayslip at the same... I don't know what he was like at 32, but I think if you put him at the same spot...
Dad,
That's what I'm saying. I know he was. I've heard that. I've heard he was a great athlete in high school. I'm saying hypothetically, if you put him at the same weight class and height at you when he was 32, he takes you.
No chance. I'm smarter. I'm way smarter. I have better hand-eye coordination. Frankly, hey, listen. All right, so here's another good story. So I took one of my customers out. We rented out the top of a brewery on Friday night. Had a great time. Some of them are a little rowdier than others. We continued to the after party at this bar. Well, at this bar is a punching machine. I've actually never done one before. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I'm there with Case Ralston and Bailey Jodry. Bailey Jodry, by the way, is 6'2", was in the National Guard, very strong. And I was like, oh, man, I'm going to punch this, and then they're going to come up behind me and embarrass me. 901, baby. 901. Neither of them could get it. And Bailey just looks at me and says, that's why you're dad. And I was like, you're right. That is why I am dad.
That is dad power.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, man. I mean, listen, my shoulder the next day, I couldn't lift my arm. But I put that back. If fighting was one slow telegraph punch, if I could get that off, yeah. Let's just dodge and weave and then, wah-bah! And just...
you obviously, Butterbean has the fastest knockout of all time.
Oh, yeah, dude. His Jackass 1 appearance
is
where
so
he knocks
funny.
out... Because I'm trying to tell it. He knocks out Johnny, who breaks his head on the glass. He wakes up. Is Butterbean all right? It's the greatest. Oh my gosh! I just
the woman
died
giving him stitches.
He's
trying to be serious.
Yeah, he has a concussion.
And they did that in the middle of a store.
Mm-hmm. So dumb. So dumb. I mean.
That whole series is just insane.
Fantastic.
Oh,
fantastic.
Great.
Utterly. So,
it's great.
Yeah, right. I forget where we were when I started talking about punching machine. Like I said, yeah. Dad's not seeing that punch coming, even though it's the most telegraphed punch in the world, and I basically get on one leg.
Dude, as you're winding up at 32, Timmy Hayslip just jabs you at 32, and it's right in the nose, and it's game over.
Yeah, no. That jab, maybe staggers, and maybe I duck a little uppercut.
In the chat right now, hashtag Tim Hayslip. That's what I want. All right, fatherly advice of the day. So I don't know if you've dealt with this yet, but I'm sure you have an idea of where you're going with it. And here's how I'll say it. So Sunday, for whatever reason, Willow, I don't know what she saw on TV, but she decided she wants a fish, right? Wants a fish.
Oh, God.
obviously we don't want to spend a ton of money on a 2-year-old's pet.
Go get
because,
a goldfish. Just go get a goldfish.
So we go get a beta. Betas are like $3 or whatever. Okay.
Perfect.
So,
is there a 50-cent fish? That's the one you should have got. Could you get a sardine off a pizza and put it in the fish tank?
And she wouldn't have.
She's a smart kid. You could have got a plastic fish, like a little wind up. There's 3, man.
I can't get sleeping on the toy. There we go.
Oh my God,
okay, so anyway, it dies within 5 hours.
Yeah.
And what
you put the wrong water.
Happened, they like warm fish, which we did buy a heater. Like we bought stuff that you have to keep it alive. But we poured it from its original container to that, and it had temperature shock, I'm pretty sure, so it died. Yeah. So we got another one this morning. He's doing great. Stormy, we're all in on it. But my question to you is, especially since Brooklyn's almost 6, and you have animals, how do you handle the death of a family pet?
So in the fish case, you hide it completely. You completely lie to your child. You don't let them know it's happening. If it's like a dog, like that's a little more challenging. So actually my mom's dog, which my mom is the most emotional person in the world and treats this dog like a child, right? Recently my mom's dog ran away in Bethel.
So your brother ran away.
Basically. Yeah, it was and like my wife was like, I'm not telling Brooklyn until like we're positive his dog's gone. Like, so we didn't have to deal with that. But like my mom was like hiring people with thermal drones and like didn't sleep for 4 days. Like, it's not just found the dog. Found the dog.
After 4 days?
Yeah, found the dog. Yeah, the dog just came up to her in the middle of like Burke Park in Bethel there.
It was like Homeward Bound, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. What would I can't imagine, dude. Like, my daughter's like the most, like, her memory, like, is she gets that from me. Like, I have a really good memory. She gets her memory from me. And my wife's grandfather died, I don't know, I want to say 2 years ago, right? So Brooklyn would have been just under 4 at the time. And literally to this day, once again, not 4 when it happened, almost 6 now. Every now and then, we'll just be laying down watching TV, and she'll start crying, and she'll be like, I just miss Papa John. Yeah. And it's like, so now that she's 6, if Marley had died, we might have had to put her in a straitjacket in a safe room. She might have been on another level. So how do I handle it? Like, I don't. Well, it's kind of, it's it's just for her protection, right? You want to make sure she's taken care of. How would I handle it? I'm very, very affectionate with my daughters, and it's just a lot of hugs and love, and like it's okay to cry it out and everything. And luckily she's learning a lot about church and God. We're very aware of that. It's a good thing. It's like you went to heaven and stuff like that. So I think that's your immediate. But if we're being honest, no one wants to deal with that. That's not something. The 3-year-old, we try to hide all evidence of it forever, even if it's like a dog. Like, I'll go buy another poodle.
We never had a dog.
No, I'll go buy another poodle. That's the same age. I'll find the one black poodle. Here he is. Here's Marley. Oh, this Marley's a little more aggressive. Can't be around him. It's like, no. But like, once they understand, you just have to like talk it out. If there's a point in which you don't think they will notice the switch, you just fake it. You just lie to your children to protect them from the devastating emotion. Don't let them learn to deal with their emotions in a positive and healthy way. Hide that because it's hard for you. You know what I mean? That's the...
Don't help them. Save yourself.
Do what's best for you. You are the ones who have to deal with this. They're not going to remember any of this. So once again, this is me making another great clip moment where we'll leave out the context of this being a character.
You love how I edit, man. You love how I edit.
Oh, yeah. I just heard click, and it was a nice little bookmark. Just right there.
See, just right there. There you go.
Yep, and there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so depending on age, you're either lying or you're emotionally
insanely affectionate.
supported.
Yeah, going to heaven, all the good things in the world. Immediately buying another animal. like as soon as humanly possible.
Well,
like we're waiting
how long have
until
you guys had that cat?
we've had 2 cats for a hot minute, and I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. They're at least 10 or 12. Well, I got one like morbidly obese cat, like who doesn't hardly eat, like, but she just like she lays around, like there's no thyroid, I guess. There's no metabolism in this cat. And the other one, who he's the worst cat in the world. Well, he wasn't. He's great to me. He just hates other people who don't live in the house. Yeah, he can smell terrible. It's like that's kind of the thing. Yeah. So he'll live forever. I will be on my deathbed, and that cat will. Or
What's
I'll be
that
on
cat's name?
I have Ollie and Cara.
Ollie's the one that doesn't like me, right?
Yes, that's the one that will outlive me. I'm positive.
Dude, when that one night, and you know how allergic I am to animals, which I got married to Meg, and now I have, I
was getting ready to say,
but 3
you
cats.
You guys lost a fish in 5 hours. Wasn't Meg like in a vet type area at one point?
Yeah, she was not happy with me. Because
I'm the bad dad. I'm the bad dad.
I don't feel like. Well, here's the thing. Willow says she wants fish, and me having no control of the father.
Go get fish.
Let's go get fish.
Yeah.
So, I did no research at all on this. I thought it was a fish. Whatever. You just put it in water and it's fine. But it's definitely more extensive than that. So this fish is this fish is dying, and Meg was like dead serious. She was like, "Did you do any research on this?" I'm like, nope. Does it look like I did any research?
Hey, actually, I have another funny story from work. So, I have a young lady on my team who I actually taught in Sunday school. Her name is Ashley, and she goes on customer visits with me a lot. And I didn't even think about this, but we went in to check into our hotel in Atlanta. Everybody else went back home. Us two were doing the Atlanta thing by ourselves. I go to check in, and the reservation is under Emily's name. And she looks at this woman looks at Ashley and goes, "Emily, can you give me?" And I was like, "Oh, no, this is a coworker of mine." And she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to call your wife." And she was probably just baiting Trump and doing protocol, but I looked at Ashley. I was like, I think she thinks that I'm having an affair and taking you to a hotel
under your wife's name.
Yeah, and I literally, she was like, I'm gonna need her to call me, and I was like, okay, and I was just dialed and I was like, can you here, just talk to this lady, and she was looking at me, and she was like, yes, ma'am, you're aware, and I was just like, she was trying to tell my wife, I'm pretty sure that I was cheating.
Dude, yeah, so I'm not. Obviously, it's good that woman has morals.
Yeah.
But let's hypothetically speaking, if whoever, not even that situation, whoever,
mind your own business, lady. Mind your own business.
Isn't that a breach of clientele?
Listen. I will say this: everybody has to stand next to their morals, which I think should transition to our Scotty Scheffler conversation.
Okay, we can do that. We'll do that first. Then we got to get to some other sports.
That's
fine. Scotty Scheffler wins. Oh, who picked him, by the way?
A really tough pick going on the favorite.
Dude, don't act like you would have picked him. Don't act like you would have picked him.
I would have picked him.
You were talking about how questionable his putter was this weekend.
It has been, literally, he changed putters an event or two ago, and all of a sudden it's been completely fixed. But if his putting was, with how important putting was, it was insanely important. It's one of the main reasons Bryson just couldn't do it.
Dude, okay, a couple things. Because I watched a lot this weekend.
Oh, I watched. I literally, yeah.
So I only watch majors. So I know you watch probably at least a round every weekend. So I was not aware how good he is. Scheffler, every shot.
Scheffler?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So on point. So it's unreal how good he is.
Here's the thing: for the past year, he has been, and I mean literally, leaps and bounds better than everyone from tee to green. And then he's one of the worst putters. Like, it was Jack Nicklaus has a tournament up in Columbus, the Memorial. It's one of the bigger outside of the majors, right?
Because it's like one of the warm ups for, is it the
one
Open?
Of the majors? Yes, yes. So when he was there that week, I think he finished in the top 3. He was number 1 in strokes gained driving, number 1 on approach, number 1 on irons in, literally second to last in putting.
Yeah.
So it's like he is that guy in there. But you know what? I was having this conversation because I think it's really popular to put him in a very high level right now. And it just occurred to me. I was like, he's won 2 majors.
Yeah,
like
he
Brooks
could be hot.
Brooks Koepka's won. Yeah, Brooks Koepka's won 5. Like, I think the best golfers in the last 25 years, there's 3 that really stand out above everyone else, and it's Tiger. And it's Tiger, right? He's way above everybody else. And then it's like Phil and Brooks. And then there's like a whole bunch of guys, though, that have won 2 or 1 or something like that.
So let me ask you this, because your big thing in basketball is...
Yeah, now, this is
true. You know what I'm
true.
saying? So is golf a longevity sport for you?
So I would say no, but I would also say that... an NBA season is a full year. Well, there's 4 majors in a year. So if Scotty wins, if this was Scotty's first major and he wins this and he wins the Masters and the next 2 majors, it's like, at his peak when he was as hot as he was hot, he was almost as hot as anybody. There's only been one guy, and it's Tiger, and they call it the Tiger Slam, to win all 4 majors in a year. And it's like Tiger literally between I think it's I was looking at some of this stuff. The only one to win all 4 in a year, yeah.
Now in tennis, they call that the Grand Slam.
So it's still a Grand Slam if you win all 4 in your career in golf. It's the Tiger Slam is literally what it's called because he's the only person to do it. I mean, it's almost impossible. Literally, he's the only person in the history of the sport that has been played for a very long time.
Over 100 years, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's just
well over.
Like every golfer. If you ask pretty much every golfer, I mean every professional golfer, if you could have one swing, it's 2000 Tiger Woods. 2000 Tiger Woods was the peak of everything. Well, it's I'm not taking 2019 Masters winner Tiger anywhere near the Tiger from the 2000 to 2004 range. I'm pretty sure. Between 2000 and 2004, he won 8 or 9 of his 15 majors.
Dude, it was so sad to watch him on Saturday and Sunday because I hold him in such high regard. And don't get me wrong, plus 16 on that course is still incredible because the normal golfer's plus 50.
There are young, non-old people, major winning golfers, right? That didn't make the cut.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, he's at the point, it's just a body thing, man. I mean, he's got so much wrong with his body, and it's heartbreaking, yes, but at the same time, I'm just happy to see him. I'll tell you what, oh gosh. So, being in Atlanta, and especially the airport, and seeing all the stuff, all the people with the Masters gear when they were coming back, I literally, I've never hated my family for not supporting me and going with me in this. I despise them. I told my dad, I was like, I literally told, I would have abandoned them in a heartbeat, to go Sunday at the Masters. Come on. Honey, listen, we play basketball any day. There's one Masters Sunday. I wouldn't want to go Sunday. That's probably the least day I would want to go. But I literally called my dad, and to be fair to him, he had the stroke, in incredibly bad shape. He's been having some leg trouble lately and stuff like that. But I called him, I was like, listen, I landed in Cincinnati Airport with a father and son who went to the Masters, and they had their seats that they had, and they had their hats and stuff. And I'm in the bathroom, and we go to wash hands, and the son's next to me, and I just go, was it as amazing as I would dream? And he was like, oh, way better. So I called my dad. I was like, your 2025 Masters starts today. Start walking. Start walking right now. And then we're going to Valhalla in a month for the PGA Championship in Louisville. I was like, that's your test run. That's your Tiger run. That's your first major. Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, you get to walk, because that's the other thing. the Masters is so elevated and so hilly, and it's like that is even harder for Tiger's body. So no,
Dude.
like how do I feel about it? I was like, the fact that on Friday when he was able to play as well as he was in about as difficult conditions as humanly possible when it was that windy, it's like, oh no, he's still at his best can play with darn near anybody.
Yeah.
And he's almost 50. Like, we don't put that into perspective. Like,
Yeah, he's 48.
Yeah.
I mean, he was down 6 going into the third round, I think. 6 or 7.
Yeah, 6, 7.
That's a couple made putts by that dude and a couple missed putts by Tiger. I mean, he's right there.
Yeah, and he also didn't have, he got an unlucky end of the draw with the weather where on Friday, because he kind of went back into the field. I think it was like 1 under his first day or even, and then he had to wake up extra early. Yeah, and then he came and he lost a couple strokes. So yeah, I mean, I was not disappointed at all. I was more hopeful that it's like, oh man, if this guy can just if he can keep working himself into condition, that's the thing. I think we're still far away from.
He's not.
No, but I still think we're far away from where he can be physically, because even the difference between this year and last year when he had to withdraw is such a big improvement. So it's like, what happens in another year? The guy is in phenomenal shape. He's still built like a brick. So.
All right, so we'll get to the question that you asked.
Wait,
go ahead.
We never got to the Scotty thing.
That's the question you asked.
Oh, okay.
See, dude, me and you are... Here we go.
Yeah.
We're right there.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler. I'll set it up for you. Scotty Scheffler, his wife, any day, could go into labor when he was on the course of the Masters. And he had said all along, no matter where I'm at, if you call me and you're going into labor, I'm withdrawing at that exact moment and I'm flying home. So the question is, at what point do you say, like, honey, I can't come home? And we'll kind of dig into this because you and Emily called me and we talked about it a little bit. But I wanted to dive into it more tonight than I did. So let's kind of get your thoughts on it, and then we'll kind of play some hypothetical situations.
So there's a lot of factors to this, right? Number one, it matters that he had already won a Masters, and it matters that it was his first child. Like, Look, I've been through 2 of these now, and me and Emily Emily would even say it's like, and I bet multiple children parents, it was like, after the first one, it's like, let's just, like, this is easier, let's just get this over with, we're not scared, we're not freaking out, we bust this out, we go home, right? Scarlett was literally born, like, the day before the Bengals went to the Super Bowl for the first time against the Rams. And literally, she came out, and I was looking at the nurses, and I was like, so we're out tomorrow morning, right? Like, I'm gonna go watch the Super Bowl. Like, let's go. So, I say that to say this. I agree that because it was his first child, it's more demanding, right? It's more demanding. Mm-hmm. And it's also less demanding to win the Masters because you've already won one. Having said all that, what I'm saying right now, if she calls on 16 and he's up 5 with 2 holes to go, he finishes. I called Scotty Scheffler, I'd say it to his face, and deep down in his darkest, I'm not in front of public moments, I'm not scared, Scotty, to say it in front of public. I'm not scared. Scotty Scheffler, by the way, in all regards, seems to be like an amazing human being, like about as good of a human being as they come.
His interviews are top
by the
notch.
way, we thought Tiger was a pretty great person until we found out he wasn't. So no, we thought he was, and then all of a sudden we found out something. And I'm just saying. So whatever these people say in public to make the masses like them, always think that, people. What I'm saying is,
until proven guilty, Logan.
What I'm saying is, I think that his wife should have been the one saying to him, "No, go win the Masters." Like, this is something.
Meg and I were talking because I was telling her that story when we were watching, and I was like, when he was getting to hole 15 and he was up like 4 strokes at that point, I'm like, there's no, like, I guarantee you, if his wife went into labor at that moment, she would tell whoever she was with, wait till he finishes before you call.
Oh, and that's how. By the way, yes, wait till he finishes. And if I'm Scotty and then I hear that, the Masters can get as mad at me as they want. I'm not doing the ceremony. I'm not doing the interviews. I'll FaceTime you on the plane. Like, we'll figure out something. Like, but no, I'm not sitting around for all that extra time. But dude, he was home that night. Labor takes a long time. Like, generally,
Especially
labor especially the first one. It was like, Emily's was quick, and it was still like 7 or 8 hours. And then with the second time around, like, she went into premature, and we didn't have that baby until 2 weeks later. Well, it's like imagine that. Imagine he leaves,
and
goes,
they didn't have the baby. Like,
and
it
they
was
didn't have
false
the
labor.
baby. Yeah. So Scotty is not thinking this out, not being honest with all of us. I would go as far to say this: $3.28 million to the winner.
Yeah.
More sponsorship money. You're up on Saturday night, and she calls you. You have a conversation, and you play, and you potentially just miss it.
Man, but you gotta throw in the factor if it's your first child. Like, that matters.
You can have a second child and be there for that birth.
Well, okay, maybe. What if it was his first Masters?
Then, I think that only adds to the fact, it's like, honey, listen, take pictures, somebody FaceTime it, record the whole thing, like, it's going to be very powerful, I'll be there, I'll be the greatest fight. You know what this kid's going to love? Never having to work a day in his life. Because I'm making us rich. He's going to appreciate that so much. Like, he's going to look back. Course. Yeah, when he is 21 and we're talking about the fact that I was winning the Masters, he's going to be happy about it. He's going to be like, oh, yeah, Dad, of course. Like, how could you not, right?
Yeah, let's say, things spiral, like, he leaves, all right, he doesn't win another Masters, things just spiral.
His career spirals out of control.
And then, he's like, why didn't you just stay? What are you doing?
Yeah.
But I think the conversation becomes not really easy, because it's still a conversation no matter what. But I think it becomes a lot easier if it's your multiple master, or your first Masters, and your multiple kids.
Yes, 100%.
Because I think that makes it very doable to stay.
I also think if it's Thursday and you don't have a 20-stroke lead, Friday and you don't have a 20-stroke lead, then yeah, that's completely understandable. Saturday night with a stroke lead, I was like, honey, I'm finishing this off. I'm coming home with a big paycheck, and I'm going to buy a artificial intelligence to recreate the birth for us. To me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely scenarios. Scenarios.
I'm winning the Masters.
The one where I'm like, man, he has to stay is if it's like second or third child, first Masters. I think
every father that I've talked to that has multiple children is always like, nah, I'm winning the Masters. 100%. We're staying there and winning. Yeah, first kid, first Masters, but still, if it's first Masters,
you don't know that at that time. You don't know what it's like to be a father until you are a father. Correct. So people that are like, well, my dog is like my baby. No, you have zero idea what it's like.
You have no.
And don't get me wrong, I didn't understand that until I became a father. So what I'm saying is, fathers saying, "Oh yeah, I would have left the Masters." You can't really put yourself in that situation, because leading up to your first child, you don't know what it's like to be a father at that point. So
This is somebody who would go as far to say this too. Here comes some hate. This is someone who would go as this is someone who would go as far to say this too. I have 2 girls, right? If I found out I was getting ready to have another girl, I'd be like, all right, let's just wrap this up. Let's just move on quickly. I will love that child as much as humanly possible. I will never be as close to as excited as I was when Brooklyn.
What if it was a son?
I mean? Oh my gosh, the best moment of my life. No, honestly, dude, I don't know, and once again, I've never had a son or anything like that. I don't know how I can ever recreate that first moment.
I get it.
So what I say, if somebody asks you, he's like, so what's it like? It's like, the only description I can even imagine is, it is like a lightning bolt full of just love and joy and the greatest feelings imaginable hits your heart, and it just stays there forever. That's like, so Brooklyn's got a lot more in like wanting to play basketball and stuff, which I'm like, yes, here we go. Right. Dude, I'm shouting out my daughter real quick. She came home tonight from dance class, and she's like, Daddy, look. And she had an invitation to the competitive dance team, which only your teacher can, like, you can get in, and only like 2 girls in her class were invited because she works really hard at it. And I was like, awesome. And dude, she was in tears, like, with just pride, and I was just so proud of you. See what happened? You work hard. And like, that's what was happening the other day. We were outside playing basketball, and she went from, like, I drew a square because she has that 5-year-old thing where she'll just run circles around the ball while she's dribbling. And I was like, no, here's a small box. I was like, keep the ball in the box. And like, it was great to see her go from like 20 dribbles without messing up to like 50. She got up to like 148, like a decent little dribble. And then like, she was getting better at shooting and stuff on an 8-foot rim, you know. And right. So yeah, it's cool, man, to like see her. I was talking to my dad. I was like, I feel like she's way further ahead than I was when I was 5. Like, I was like,
your dad thought you were going to make college basketball.
No, he said I had no chance, which he was very, very fairly right. Listen, like, my daughter better start now because she's surrounded by other good female girl athletes that are going to be in her grade growing up, and she's either got to get good way ahead of them, or you better get real good at passing the ball, lady.
Dude,
like,
all the norm is specializing anymore. Like, kids are doing that early and early.
But she's playing soccer right now. She does love golf.
I think soccer. As a coach, I think soccer is the best complement to basketball, sport-wise.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because I think you need a break. Like, people that are going 12 months a year at basketball, that's how you get burnt out on it. It's
yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
So you have 10 months of basketball, which is fine if you want to specialize, and you almost have to anymore. But then you have that 2 to 3 month break of soccer, and you only have to play in season, practice on your own time, whatnot. But footwork-wise, it carries over so well, and endurance-wise it does. And again, it gives you that break, and then you get back to basketball and you get refreshed. So, yeah, I think soccer is such a good compliment.
Steve Nash, Hakeem Olajuwon, Joel Embiid, like, these are all people with soccer backgrounds before basketball. And it's a footwork thing. When you think of Hakeem Olajuwon, you think of the greatest footwork ever.
Right.
Yeah, so, all right.
All right, let's roll into a little bit of WNBA, and this will be the last WNBA we do for a while. I know that breaks your heart.
I saw Caitlin's monster 4-year contract today that she got drafted number 1.
And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit because I posted this on Twitter and on Facebook. I think this is the most important WNBA draft class of all time because there's never been more hype than anybody with Caitlin Clark, along with the Cameron Brinks, Angel Reese, J.C. Sheldons, whatnot. So,
how did Angel Reese and that other South Carolina player get drafted in the same team?
Well, the Cordoza girl went second or third because I would have taken her over Cameron Brink. Cameron Brink's the Stanford girl.
I don't know.
Cordoza's she's 6'7". A 6'7" female is a 7'3" male. I mean, that is a very tall female. So
she wasn't the first pick.
No. Clark was, but
I know, but I take the 7'3".
But my point to this is, like, there's so much hype surrounding Clark and this class. I mean, she's got Angel Reese, which is kind of like the villain of this class, and she's kind of, Cordoza's 6'7", J.C. Sheldon's in Ohio State, which is such a big university. So there's really strong draft picks coming in. And why I think this is the most important draft class of all time in WNBA is because it wasn't that – I mean, it was, but it wasn't that long ago that NBA was on tape delay. It's not like the NBA started and all of a sudden there was all these, like –
it's been 45 years.
Yeah, but you got to think about how much older the NBA is than the WNBA in that aspect as well. But my point to that is it took Bird and Magic to gain that viewership. And then Jordan just ran with it, and it slowly built to what it is today. So if this draft class, and again, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what the future of 10 years holds. But if it doesn't bring in the viewership, I don't think the WNBA ever gets there because this is such a huge class to finally do that.
I would personally bank on it just never gets there. If I was a betting man,
I don't think it ever gets to the height of NBA. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know that it will ever get as popular as. It's just like. So, I was joking when I said her monster contract. I was insulted. I can't believe she only gets paid like 70.
I get it. If you don't bring in viewers, like, and
the WNBA already wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for the NBA
Correct.
subsidizing it.
They're all,
you know what I mean?
They're all negative numbers.
Listen, Bill Burr has a fantastic joke about it. He was like, the WNBA fails because women don't support it. You say you want to and stuff, so you're relying on male viewership, right? I think this is undoubtedly true, and it's kind of my reasoning behind not watching it, right? The same reason, like, you love college basketball, right? You like college basketball more than NBA basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody watches basketball for different reasons. I watch basketball to see the very best in the world. Doesn't matter whether that's woman, men, college, anything. The best players in the world are all in the NBA. That's why I watch the NBA. There's got to be other people out there like me, like that. So you're battling. If people can watch one thing, why not watch the best? Once again, women make up 50% of viewership total. I mean, it's a 50-50 divide. If women supported the WNBA the way that men support NBA and college basketball, but it's kind of like, it kind of goes back to the same conversation we were having about Marvel's downfall, right? Like, they're trying to attract an audience that has mainly throughout history never been there. Right, like when you watch, if you look at the demographics of Marvel movies, it's like 75% male to 25% female. So when you're pushing more female characters, if that dynamic doesn't drastically flip or even out, you're not getting the same. So when that goes to 50 and the women don't show up to support it and stay at 25, you're only getting 75% of the numbers. And that is what has been shown going forward. And once again, it will take something drastic, a giant culture shift. I don't think it's a giant culture shift from men. I don't think that's the responsibility.
I know a lot of men that like to watch Caitlin Clark play. A lot.
Yeah, but it's just Caitlin Clark. Yeah.
Correct. But what I'm saying is, I believe you're correct that women need to support women as well as men need to support women. It needs to be a collective agreement, not agreement, but a collective
collective
push to do that. So, but here's where the WNBA, and this is my mindset, and again, there's a lot smarter people on WNBA marketing than I am, but if you're the WNBA, right, who should be your number one target audience? I have my answer, and I might be wrong, but in my mind, this is where I would go.
And I know this sounds crazy, but it should be men because men predominantly watch basketball more than women already.
That's not where I would go.
Okay.
I would go young girls from the age of 10 to 16. Because if you can get them to watch, they want to watch with their father. If Brooklyn comes to you and says, hey, I want to watch the Aces versus Fever tonight, what are you going to do?
Find a Warriors versus Lakers game.
No, you're not. You're going to watch it with her.
No, hold on. I want her to, like, if we're going to watch film on
what you want. She wants to watch Caitlin Clark. She wants to watch Asia Wilson. Then you would watch that with her because you're a good father, right?
You're not wrong.
So you have to go, and I think that's why this is such a big thing, because the next 10 years of Caitlin Clark's prime, of Angel Reese's prime, and XYZ, of all these Paige Beckers next year, all these kids that are going to be in their prime, if they don't attract the 10-year-old girl who in 10 years is going to be a 20-year-old girl who is going to continue to watch and support that brand, then it's lost anyway.
I really don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I just know that if I was a betting man, I would bet it just never gets to a sustainability. Like that should be their number one. If you can't sustain, what do they have, like a 12-team league?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you can't sustain a 12-team league in today, like without being subsidized, like it just, like I said, I'm not rooting for it not to happen, but again, this comes back to men have physical advantages that help them perform better in sports, and at the end of the day, I personally will always watch the best stuff. It's why when we talk about the best stuff, right? I'm not even talking about like I will watch an NBA game for today. I personally, and once again, this is just me, I'm a weirdo. I would literally rather go back and watch like the 2013 Spurs versus Heat finals and rewatch those games forever and ever and ever, just because I'm looking through it through a different lens of the execution and stuff like that than I would like a Pistons Wizards game. Like, you couldn't get me to turn on a Pistons Wizards game to save my life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching the stuff that interests me, and that is a certain brand of basketball that I find appealing, right? And it's going to be very challenging for them to attract me, because it will take a combination of the athletic dominance that men provide with the execution of great team basketball. And to be fair, from what I hear of the women's game, it is the style of play is very good.
It is.
It's something that I would probably be pretty interested in, but you're lacking the physical domination that coincides with it.
So I guess that's where we differ, because I think the target audience is different, because I think you have to play the long game, not necessarily just the now. Because the hype is there now. It's going to, like, the Fever have 38 of 40 games nationally televised. And that's for one reason, and we know it's Caitlin Clark. So the hype is there, and we understand.
She got drafted by the who?
Fever, Indiana Fever.
Oh, that's cool. Actually, no, that's great for me, because I'll take Brooklyn to Indianapolis. Like,
just to wrap up, what I feel like is you have to play the long game, and something added that we have not talked about is the women's WNBA game is a spring and summer sport, so it does not have to compete against the women's NCAA, men's NCAA, and the NBA. So it's literally its own basketball league in the time frame that it does. That might push a little. Well, let me catch a basketball game since it's on.
Yeah. Well,
so we'll see.
We'll
see. But again, I think this is an important class, because it's going to fail with them or ride with them.
I hope it takes off.
Me too. I do. Okay, and then just to stay on the basketball, just to wrap up our sports of the night, NBA playoffs are now official. They're number one, or the play-in tournament starts this week. The actual tournament starts next weekend. What's crazy to me is OKC is the number one seed, which I don't know why I didn't think.
Dude, they're
Denver is over there.
Yeah, I think they went all the way down to 3. Dude,
yeah.
I gotta.
But they were all
say,
tied at the going into the last game. They all had 51 wins. It was OKC, Denver, and was it Minnesota?
Yeah.
So they all had 51 wins.
I will say this: Denver really tried to win the other night against the Spurs in that last game to get a higher seed. Wembanyama is going to, if he can stay healthy, change the game of basketball. Like, that's my new hot take. Like, since the All-Star break, he is insanely efficient. Like, his per 36 numbers are 26, 13, 5 or 6 assists, and 5 blocks a game.
Yeah.
He's 20 years old. This is as bad as he is ever going to be. And the impact that he has defensively and offensively is just breathtaking.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
No, but, I mean, can you see that?
Yeah, so Lakers will beat the Pelicans because LeBron will get every single call in the world.
And they just beat him at home.
Yeah, Zion's just, he has to put down a Twinkie long enough to take the game seriously. The Warriors, I have a really really special place in my heart for Steph Curry and the Warriors. This is as bad as they've been in a long time.
Yeah, but they're still the Warriors. I think the Lakers take the 7 seed, and I think the Warriors take the 8 seed.
Yeah, and I agree. And the Warriors get bounced by the Thunder. Shea is just fantastic. They're so young. Honestly, they remind me of another Thunder team.
Like when they had Harden, Westbrook, and Durant.
They went to the finals against the Heat, and they were all like 23 and under. Because Ibaka was young too, and Ibaka was an amazing young player at the time. Kendrick Perkins was their only weak link.
No, that was baby. That was the wrong era.
Yeah, it was Kendrick Perkins. Their starting lineup was Kendrick Perkins, Serge Ibaka, Kevin Durant. It was not James Harden. He came off the bench. Russell Westbrook, and they had another guard that I actually liked. Maybe it was Tabo Cephalosha. Maybe that sounds kind of right. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
he was around at one point. The Clippers are set for a decent year. However, Luka Doncic is on another level right now, and he owns their souls. Like on a level that I have seen few players.
So you got the Thunder Mavericks there on that side.
Yeah, probably. Timberwolves.
I got the Suns over the Timberwolves.
No, I think Beal has looked a little better lately, but he hasn't done anything for me all
Beal
year.
Looks good. And Durant's still the most pure scorer in the league.
Yeah, I've just never been a big Booker guy. Like, I just don't know why.
I don't think he wins. I think he scores, but he doesn't win. So I think they'll win this one, but I don't think they beat the Nuggets in the next round.
Yeah. Oh no, they're definitely not beating. Well, the Lakers will. The Nuggets will beat the Lakers handily.
Yeah.
Jokic is, in my opinion, the best player in the world. Although it really is. They got to be healthy. They're a little thin, but. I think so. Thunder beat the Warriors. Mavericks beat the Clippers. So you got Thunder, Mavericks. That actually could get really interesting because Luka might just say,
"I like the Mavericks because I like Kyrie and I like Luka."
Oh, I don't like Kyrie. You couldn't pay Kyrie's. Congratulations, you couldn't pay Kyrie Irving's salary for me to be on my team. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could get help in my salary cap, and I'd be like, no, thank you, sir. Please go away.
Okay, so you're the brain. So you got Thunder there.
The Thunder are well. No. Hold on. That is a very close one. That honestly could go either way because the thing that I worry about with the Thunder is just how young they are. They've never been there, but I don't know things. Luka could just single-handedly win the series. He could average 37 and just win this.
Who you got?
Give me the Mavericks.
Mavericks? Okay, Mavericks. Yeah. And then you got the Timberwolves and Nuggets.
This scares me a little bit. I'm going to take the Nuggets, and then I'm going to take the Nuggets to the finals.
Okay.
On the other side, it's really not even we could walk through each thing if you really want to.
I think the Heat beat the 76ers.
That'll be closer than you think. The Heat, they're a zombie. Yeah. Like, they literally come to life every playoff, so it's interesting. But at the same time,
Jimmy Butler is a different man in the playoffs.
Yeah, but man, I mean, at some point that's going to stop. He's old. Frankly,
But I think they just switch because I think the Heat take 7 and 76ers take 8. I think they just switch.
Yeah, but Embiid is back now. Embiid is back, and Embiid and Maxey, and frankly, you don't have Harden, who's I'm going 76ers. The 76ers were the first or second best team in the East before Embiid's injury, and Embiid's back now. So I'm going
I would
Sixers.
tell you that it will benefit the Celtics greatly if the 76ers aren't there, in my mind.
Oh yeah, 100%. So
you think that plays
Bulls,
true? You think 76ers are 7, Heat are 8?
Yeah. Bulls, Hawks, I literally could absolutely care so much less.
DeRozan's the only one I actually like in that series.
Yeah, I would agree, so I hope the Bulls win. We could go through this one by one. What I'm telling you is the Celtics, if the Celtics don't make the finals, it's the biggest letdown in a long time.
Okay,
the
so
Celtics
let's just really quickly do it so it's on record. So you got 76ers versus Heat, Celtics.
I would take
Celtics
70s.
I'm sorry, Celtics versus Heat. You got Celtics. Cavs versus Magic. Who you got?
Magic aren't ready, Cavs.
Okay. Bucks versus Pacers.
Depends on if Giannis is healthy, right? He just went out with a calf injury.
Yeah.
So, but Halliburton hasn't been the same guy since the All-Star break
Since
either.
All-Star, dude, his numbers have just tanked.
Plummeted. Yeah, he had an injury. He had a couple bad ankle things. He might just be kind of working his way back into shape and stuff. I'll take the Bucks. Because in the playoffs, the Pacers like that up-tempo game. In the playoffs, everything slows down. So, yeah, I mean, the Bucks are the easy answer.
Knicks
there.
and 76ers?
76ers.
Yeah, dude, Brunson's it. Okay, so then
Brunson
you have
is it, but...
Then you have Celtics and Cavaliers.
Celtics.
And then you have Bucks and 76ers.
76ers.
Okay, then Celtics, 76ers, you're taking Celtics.
Celtics.
So then you have Celtics versus Nuggets. Who is your NBA champion of 2024?
I would easily normally have said Nuggets. I just think Jokic is on another level. This is the biggest coin flip as I've seen in a long time because honestly, I thought the Celtics would win the year the Warriors won. This all data tells you that a team that has had as good of a regular season as the Celtics have, they win. Almost all the time.
64 wins, man.
Well, no, it's the point differential. They don't just beat teams; they beat teams bad. It's not like they're just winning coin flip games where they win at the last second and stuff like that. I think the Nuggets have looked just a little concerning with Murray's health. They're a little thin in their rotation, and I think Jokic will not be able to play as dominantly. It's kind of like when Dirk went on that insane run. I kind of feel like that's what happened to Jokic last year, even though he's amazing still. I feel like he went up another level in the playoffs, and it's kind of like I'll go Celtics, but I don't feel great about that pick at all.
Okay, so Celtics over the Nuggets in how many? Because Celtics has home court.
Oh, it won't go less than 6. I can tell you that.
Okay.
It'll be 6 or 7.
So Celtics in 6, maybe 7. All right,
Yeah.
here first. So speaking of tournament, we're going to get into our new segment.
I don't know what this is. I'm
the Taylor
so confused.
Swift. I know you're confused, and it's
I had
all right.
to pick against a bunch of bad Taylor Swift songs. I don't know why we couldn't just pick anyway.
So let me get.
Why
this.
wouldn't we do our 10 favorites first?
Dude, see, this is what I'm saying.
Right,
you don't trust me at all. I put so much work into this. I edit it. I do all these ideas, and all I want is to thank you. Just one time. Like, in 5 weeks, have you said, hey, thank you for doing all this? No. This needs to change. This needs to be better. I'm a great father.
Are you waiting for me to give you a thank you? Is that what your goal was?
No, because it's not coming. That's all I'm saying. So,
thank you,
anyway... Thank you for thanking me. So here's how I did it. So disclaimer for everybody, we got our wives' opinion on this. So you have my opinion, Logan's opinion, Emily and Meg's opinion, and where I got these top 16 songs is from Billboard, and how they did it is time on Billboard. So it's all based on numbers, nobody's opinion. So Billboard's top 100, whatever. So this is what I'm getting ready to show you is the bracket, and this is 1 through 16 of Taylor Swift songs based on Billboard. Okay,
based on longest time on Billboard's top 100.
Correct. So that's what you're getting ready to see. All right. So full disclosure. Full disclosure. I have not looked at the numbers of us voting. I've tallied it, but I didn't look what added up to what. I did that in Google Sheets. I'm a big Google Sheets guy.
Wait a second.
Okay.
4 of us voted? And Shake It Off is number 1?
See, this is how I know you're not paying attention. 1 through 16 is how Billboard has them ranked. This is Billboard's rankings.
Okay.
So what I did is I took our rankings. So, like my rankings, whatever I ranked first got 16 points. Whatever I ranked second got 15 points. Did the same thing for you, Emily, Meg. Okay? And then I did the same thing for Billboard as well because it has to hold some weight for putting everything in. So then I got all that in order.
Okay.
And
so this is a combination of our votes and Billboard.
All 4 of our votes in Billboard. So it's a combination of 5 votes. And I'm going to release those rankings as we go right here. Because I've not seen, I haven't totaled it up, I haven't seen it at all. So I'm doing this live with you as well. Okay. So first one, Shake It Off versus Karma. Karma did win. Now, I'm not going to say the scores of what we had because then you could easily guess.
That's what I would have picked, by the way. That's what I would have picked.
Shake It Off. So we're just going to give it 1 point.
No, I would have picked Karma. I'm disappointed that Shake It Off won. I'm devastated that Shake It Off won. Shake It Off is...
Billboard gave it the number 1 ranking, so that's 16 points right off the bat.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Whatever.
Bad Blood. Bad Blood versus We Are Never Getting Back Together. Correct?
We're both not great songs, but We're Never Getting Back Together is better.
I agree. And We Are Never Getting Back Together did win that one.
Okay.
How do you feel about the first round matchup so far?
I literally could almost care less about all 4 of the songs.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. We'll get to whatever.
Karma is okay. Karma's okay. Like, it's listenable.
I didn't realize I knew that song until Meg played it for me. And I was like, I do know that song. This, next, I didn't realize how good Style
I'm going to get mad. I'm going to get Style is much better than Blank Space.
The winner of this matchup, even though both of them
so is this like a
very highly.
You created this to make me mad. That's stupid. That's a stupid thing. All right, next.
Blank Space did win that. You Belong to Me, and what is that other one? Look What You Made Me Do.
Look What You Made Me Do might be her worst song.
This, I agree. I put that one at the bottom. This one was not very close.
Whenever she tries to go like super edgy and poppy, it's just like I can't turn it off fast enough.
I will say, and maybe we should have had our wives on at this point, but I
can call Emily right now.
No, it's all right. Well, I definitely went towards her older stuff than I did her newer stuff.
That's the only good. If I'm not crying listening to Taylor Swift, it's not a good song.
And do you know why we're doing this? Taylor Swift. Do you know why we're doing Taylor Swift today?
I have no idea.
She's got a new album coming out Friday.
Cool. Does it have
Are you kidding me?
Good old music?
It has breakup songs. It's based on her last boyfriend, so that's all I care about.
Oh, cool. All right.
You know she brings fire when she
all
has
too well songs. Plays in my house. It's like, damn you, Jake Gyllenhaal, damn you! Although I gotta be honest. She's 34-year-old. She's a little dramatic. I'm kind of thinking maybe it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Maybe that wasn't about bad stuff.
Do you think that Travis Kelce is like the husband, or do you think we're going to get fire?
I would say I don't know that she's wifeable. For personalities, listen. I am a very average. I'm a very average 32-year-old man who doesn't have any possibility of getting with Taylor Swift. I do not think that Taylor Swift is marriageable. I do not think she's taller than me, probably, dude. It's rough, okay? So, but I'm telling you, I don't think she's marriable. I'm like a not dramatic, not like the All Too Well music video when they have the fight because
I don't know what All Too Well is. I've never heard
okay, so it's a great song. It's like one of her better songs lately. She made like a 10-minute music video where she hired redhead from Stranger Things, Max, and guy from Maze Runner to play like her and Jake Gyllenhaal, right? And go through a relationship. And there's a moment in the video where they are having dinner with his friends.
Why wouldn't you hire Tobey Maguire?
I don't know. Anyway, they're having dinner with his friends, and she goes to hold his hand during this dinner, and he just like kind of like pats it and is like, I don't want to hold your hand right now. And they're doing dishes later, and she's like devastated by this. And I was just thinking to myself, it's like, if you're upset by the fact that in a single moment when I was surrounded by a table talking to all my friends, like, you can get out, we're just never going to be together.
Well,
like, I
you
don't
say
care.
that, and to my mind, Travis Kelce is that plus some. Like, he doesn't care.
Oh, yeah.
He's his own.
Exactly.
This dude screams at his coach on the sideline. He does not care at all. So, but I guess, like, her friends, I don't know how much this is true, but I read that her friends are, like, not crazy about how she's acting because she's, like, going out more to clubs, which is not her, like, not her MO because she's going out with him. So
it shouldn't be. She's 34 years old. Go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Dude,
have children, get married like the rest of us.
Meg and I were talking about, like, when you're in college, like, you'll go into sardine, like, whatever, like, outings, and you won't care. Concerts or whatever. Like, you can't move, and you're like, this is awesome. You do that, like, as soon as you hit 30, you're like, this is terrible.
I will never go. I will literally, I have a rule. Like, Emily bought me, so I'm like a big Blink-182 fan. Emily bought me Blink-182 tickets, like lawn seats at Riverbend one time, and I was like, I just don't want to go. I'm not going to the lawn. I'm just never doing it again. Get me a nice chair, and there's bathrooms. I don't have to fight for my seat. I no, a million times.
I don't mind the lawn, but I'm also not a person that tries to push the front of the lawn. I just hang back and listen to music.
You know what's also really cool? Like, sitting in a room with a nice speaker system and just listening and relaxing on your couch,
being able to hear each other talk.
Like, yes, so I'm so
I'm just like, get off my lawn.
She's 34 and she's acting like she's an 18-year-old. Well, it's like if I got divorced from Emily in a 20-year, like, I couldn't date someone that immature.
Yeah.
If, like, a 20-year-old was hitting on me and probably talking about 20-year-old things, I'd be like, honey, like, get away from me. Like, I don't care how pretty you are, leave forever. Do you your
think
voice
the
is annoying.
20-year-old moving on.
If you edit that, I'm like, oh, come on. That's not even that bad.
There's just certain words you can't say. Cruel Summer at 3 versus 14, mine.
I would pick mine just for what it's worth.
So did I, but we didn't have enough support. Cruel Summer.
This is a stupid list, so yeah,
dude, I was with you. You and I put mine really high.
Man, the high seeds are winning. Who would have thought this happened?
Now this is a tough one. Love Story versus Wildest Dreams.
I'd probably go Wildest Dreams. I think it's more listenable.
Love Story is the winner there. Another high seed.
That's 60, yeah.
Knew You Were Trouble
I bet I Knew You Were Trouble wins.
Well, you know that because you and Emily both voted that Loves, but you never heard it. In fairness.
Me and Emily both put I Don't Want to Live Forever as dead last, actually.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
She also put something like of her first song that you put on like second to last. I forget what it was. I'll have to go back and look.
That's fine. Yeah, I
Teardrops
don't
on
agree
My
with my
Guitar and Anti-Hero.
Anti-Hero is one of the only decent ones because, like, I literally just think that it's so catchy. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I could listen to that a lot.
Yeah. So it did win straight seedings right there. So back to Shake It Off versus We're Never Getting Back Together.
Jay, if this ends up just going Shake It Off, Anti-Hero going 1-2.
I haven't looked. I really haven't looked, so I have no idea.
Like, maybe we should have looked because I think this is kind of becoming anticlimactic.
Blank Space versus You Belong.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, we have our
you
first
did
upset.
Not think this through. Oh no! Wait, no! But it's not an upset. It's so terrible. Oh my
hold on. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get your reaction. I just wanted to get you fired up. You belong.
Congratulations, Cruel Summer and Anti-Hero for winning.
Love Story with the win over Cruel Summer. And that is not that's not a fake. That is legit.
I'm pretty sure you just faked that too.
No.
Okay.
I can actually go to the rankings.
It's okay. It's all right.
Anti-Hero and Knew You Were Trouble.
It's got to be Anti-Hero.
Anti-Hero did win that one. So 1, 2, 4, and 6.
None of these were my number one.
What was your number one? I thought You Belong to Me was your number one.
What was my number one?
You Belong to Me.
Was it?
I'll look, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Okay.
That's total. Yeah, You Belong to Me was your number one.
Okay. All right. Well,
so your number one.
Apparently, I can't even keep up with my own opinions.
Yeah, exactly. You just shout so much opinions you don't even know. Shake It Off versus You Belong to Me. There you go. Your number one's coming through on that one.
Okay. All right. Something is right with the world.
There we go. See, and we went against Billboard on that. So that's
I'm fine with any three of these winning. None of them are one of my 3 favorite songs of hers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is where me, you, Meg, and the wives really overtook Billboard.
Yeah. Now in full transparency, Style was like 4th, and Blank Space was 2nd.
Really?
So it just happened to be a bad matchup for old Style right there. But our number one song, along with the Billboard Top 100, You Belong to Me. So Logan's number one song is the number one Taylor Swift song. Very good. I had Love Story as first, so
I think we're gonna have to rethink the segment moving forward. But I
like somebody wanted us. I forget who it was, but they wrote on Spotify. They wanted us to do a full 64 team bracket of Taylor Swift songs.
That could have been done. What I will say,
that would have taken so long.
Yeah, but I think it's just us picking our favorites. I don't think there should have been any factors outside. I don't think the Billboard should have factored in.
I don't know, man, because I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of times mine and yours opinions are not correct.
Well, first of all, it's an opinion. Second of all, they come here for our opinions, and I don't care about it. If they want to go see Billboard's opinion, go read Billboard. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
No, I just I couldn't care about half of those songs. What I actually really want to get into better is like viewer questions. Like, we need people like in the Facebook comments and stuff to like leave questions for the next week. Like, I would love that.
Yeah, I agree. And we will address them all because that's the type of guys we are.
Because they're so overwhelming, we can barely get to them, but we'll go out of our way.
So, before we get on to the next section, would you say that you are a Swiftie?
No, because while I enjoy some music of Taylor Swift, and I went to the concert in Cincinnati with my wife this summer. I begged her to sell the tickets because we got them at a really good price and could have made a lot of money.
Right.
I was around Swifties, and they needed to be put in mental hospitals. There was something very, very deranged and wrong, and people crying like at her sight, and I was just like, I didn't know that's what Jesus looked like. You would have thought it was the second coming of Christ, and those people need help. So yeah, if you're like one of those people that think Taylor Swift is like the greatest artist since Elvis, I have many great musical talented acts to introduce you to.
Yeah,
she's cool, dude. She's great, but she's like she just doesn't hit that next level to me. Like, it's nowhere near the best concert I've ever been to. It's like not even close.
So you're lucky that I can't figure this out because
can't figure what out.
Riverside is not polite to me sometimes. I have a media player right now that I can't pull up.
For a Taylor Swift song?
Of you just, I mean, you're belting it out. Like, you're...
Oh, yeah, hey. Anyway, but I was just like, I couldn't care. Like, I just couldn't have... bought into her thing. Like when she did that thing where she dives in and you can see her video swimming all the way to the other side. I was like, wow, how could she hold her breath that long? Dude, the Swifties around me were like looking at me like, oh, I'm gonna kill this guy.
And I was she comes out on stage like 2 minutes later. She's not even wet.
I swear, no, I'm not even joking. My wife was like, "You're gonna get me," and I looked around at everybody. I said, "Honey, I'm in a Bengals stadium full of people. I'm taking everybody down. Like, there's not a person here who's out fighting me." What's our draft? All right, what's our draft?
We're not to the draft yet. See. Don't bring your heat here because you got upset that Billboard didn't agree with you. Like, who is Billboard not to agree with Logan Hayslip? Like, who do they think they are?
Billboard is a collection of what everyone else listens to, and I don't have the same likeliness as 12-year-old girls. You're right. You know what? My daughter loves Shake It Off.
But yet you still have an opinion of what songs should be on there? Yeah, that makes no sense. I'm not a 12-year-old girl, but yet I still have a feeling of what should be on there.
No, I can tell you what her... Do
you understand how insane that argument is?
Okay. No, hold on. Okay. From a standpoint, listen to this. I guarantee you, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC songs spent a long time at Billboard Top 100. As good music, they don't hold a candle to, like, Guns N' Roses and like stuff like that, like actual music with people playing instruments.
So your opinion matters more than others, is what you're saying?
Yes, correct. Yes. Listen, I clearly think my opinion should be heard more. It's why we have a podcast. Like, if me and you didn't think our opinion was interesting, if we didn't think it was interesting, yes, I'm trying
doing
to
this
shape
because I need the world to know.
Yes. All right. Anyway,
I can't wait till we finally get to the point where we're making some money on this. We're going to let Logan go on politics. You're either going to be president or it's going to be a 1-week cancellation.
Oh, I can't listen. My goal is to be the mayor of Georgetown one day. Since my wife will not let me leave this place, mayor of Georgetown. I cannot wait to kiss babies.
Mayor Hayslip.
Yep,
I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't know what would happen, but I could see it happening.
It looked like a lot what would happen if like Ron Swanson was mayor. It's just like you know what costs money? Street lights. Drive and do your own thing. Like, figure it out, people.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal. Okay, so the last thing we'll get into before we get into our draft,
Two is Better Than One by Boys Like Girls featuring Taylor Swift.
I read this. That's a catchy song. I read this this article. There's this in Minnesota. There's called this Quiet Room. Okay, so there was discrepancy of how much it cost. Somebody said $1 million, which I think is crazy. But like,
that's insane.
You pay to go into this quote unquote quiet room, and it's like one of, if not the most quiet place on earth. And what do you think?
It's trippy because you can like hear your blood moving and stuff, right?
So
so it's
you
trippy.
Can like you hear like your organs like flow blood through. So the longest anybody has lasted up to this point is, what do you think? How long do you think? Not you, just somebody.
It's probably not very because I'm guessing someone tried to stay in there for a long time. I'm going to say an hour.
45 minutes.
45 minutes. So I did something really cool one time that has to do with I did a sensory deprivation tank. I really want to continue to do that. I hope that grows in its popularity. Man, it was awesome because, dude, like I did at one point as I was kind of drifting away because you're in the, you're floating in the water where they have the salt, right. The temperature's 98.6, and it was freaky too because like I was in like a coffin. So it's like it took me a minute to settle. Like the more I did it, but there was a moment where I felt like my consciousness in some way had separated from my physical form and was going to another place. But then I realized that was happening and I got anxious and I yanked it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So
I get claustrophobic. I used to think like I was scared of flying, right? So
I'm terrified of flying.
Like, well, that's how I was. But then, like, I like taking off because I think it's cool. I like landing because I think it's cool. Like, I'm really not that bothered in the air because I can distract myself. So I'm like, why do I have this like big ordeal? Like, I think I'm like scared of flying, and I figured it out the last time Meg, me, and Willow all went flying around. It's because when you land and you are shuttling and you park, and before they open the doors, everybody stands up like they're going to beat everybody off the plane, and then they're standing right there in your space. And I get claustrophobic, and I never knew I had that. I hate, like, just sit down. Like, you're not going to get off any faster than anybody else.
So I'm completely the opposite. I always sit when I travel. I also 99% of the time I'm in the very front row of the plane in one of the first two seats. Those are the best seats in my opinion. And I'm like, no, I'm getting off here and I'm beating all you people. I'm taking off. Like, see you. No, but my thing is it's a lack of control, right? Because like, if you're in the air and something bad happens, you die. Like, that's it. Like, you're
Which is
done
not
for.
true.
What do you mean?
Dude, like, I don't know the correct statistics, but even like if engine failure happens,
statistics. Okay.
Wow.
You ever seen?
Wow.
Yeah. You ever seen Flight? Thank God Denzel rolled that thing upside down. Okay.
But that's my
Thank God
point.
he was hammered.
Catastrophically, and he still saved it. But they can
That's
still
a movie,
land
Jay.
the plane.
You shouldn't use that as your reference.
They can still land. What the heck just happened?
You just got so mad at me for interrupting you, and it was kind of priceless.
So anyway, my point is, like, even if you like lose an engine, they can still land the plane. Like, they just glide to a landing.
Cool.
So like, your chance of like dying in a plane is, you realize, is less than you dying in a car wreck, right?
Cool. Congratulations. You know who's driving the car? And by the way, if the wheel breaks on the guitar, or if something breaks in a car, if something breaks in your car, right? What? Okay, I would want to see the odds of what happens when you have a car breakdown of some kind, your chances of dying, versus if you have a plane breakdown in some way, shape, or form.
So you're just talking mechanical.
Any mechanical failure, yes. Because if you blow a tire, it's like, oh no, I blew a tire. Let me pull over real quick, and then you're fine. If the engine overheats and I've had a belt snap, it's like, oh no, the car won't go. You're fine. If an engine goes down, I'm saying your chance of death is drastically higher.
Not drastically, and probably not higher at all. Dude, pull up the stats.
I don't want to pull the stats. I don't want to have this conversation. You don't. I don't know how this is. I don't know how you don't understand that there's that it's once again, it's a lack of control thing. I can control how my car.
So don't
I can do
lack
nothing.
Of control to death. That has nothing to do with it. When you were driving up Pikes Peak with Emily driving, did you think you were dead?
Oh yeah, 100% because I was driving. 100% because I didn't think if I was driving and I was in control, it wouldn't have felt that bad.
If you had to have... Okay, let's put yourself in this scenario.
Oh, God.
I can't wait till two of our big viewers watch this. You're on Pikes Peak, and you can either pick your mom driving or Emily driving. Who are you picking?
Emily, 100%. There's
that big van forever.
My mom also her pants when she drives across bridges. I think she has trouble with it. Like, when we go to Florida and there's all this stuff over water, she's just like, like she needs certain tranquilizers, like, before she goes over. It's like, no. Emily's just more mentally stable than my mother, so I'm always taking the more mentally stable person. Sorry, Mom, love you.
You or your dad driving?
Oh, me, 100%. I'm a fantastic driver.
So how many people do you think in this world could drive better than you at Pikes Peak?
Oh, I mean, they're professional drivers and stuff like that. Just for your average everyday driver, I'm about as good as they come.
I'm about as good as it gets.
Okay, you can say whatever you want to say. Like, I am a fantastic driver. Every trip we go on, like company trip, anything, like, I'm always the driver. Like, I have a rule, like, because, like, I have other people who will remain nameless, who literally I go on trips with all the time, and I was like, you're not driving. You're a terrible driver. Like, you're terrible. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. No,
so you think take out all professionals in the world, drivers. Amateurs, you're number one.
Like, there's probably, once again, amateurs who grew up go-karting and stuff, so, like, in like, doing some type of stuff like that. So, I'm saying people who did not grow up with some form of motor vehicle experience,
so
who just
15 and a half and on.
16, yeah, 16 and on, and you're just behind the wheel. You're not doing anything after that. Just basic road driving, not track stuff. Yes, I'm actually, I'll go ahead and say I'm the best driver in the world in that category. Actually, you know what? I'll go as far to say this: I could have been a NASCAR driver. I have great reaction time. I could have, I don't believe it's that difficult. I have a really good feel for the road and stuff. I've been way too fast a number of times and never really felt out of control. Now, there is the whole thing of, did I ever let myself get out of control or stop myself from getting out of control as a detriment to the speed? Now, that's a different conversation, but...
Fair.
Yeah. I'm a fantastic driver.
Dude, I think if I was starting a NASCAR team, you would be my pick.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I think that's the smartest thing we've ever said on the podcast.
All right, the draft. You can't be happy with the draft results of last week. You got demolished.
I'm insanely happy. What I realized is that everyone else is incredibly wrong.
I think that you beat me on candy bars, and
I'll be humble when I die.
I don't believe that either. I don't believe that at all. I think you and I are on the same page. We believe there's an afterlife of some sort. You will not be humble.
When I tried to call you earlier, when I tried to FaceTime you earlier, it's because my daughter wanted me to tell you that my list was better. And she listens to the thing, and it was completely unprovoked.
Wow, your 6-year-old daughter thought her dad was correct. That's...
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, right. Devalue her opinion. Oh, no, you're devaluing... You know what? Your opinion's the only correct opinion, Jay. You're right.
And the other 45 people that agreed with me. And I'm not
There was definitely not 45 people. You're overvaluing. You know what? Let's move on to this draft and another one in which everyone else will be wrong, and including you, and I'll be right.
Can we... Okay, I'm not devaluing her opinion. I'm saying that she thinks you are the greatest person in the world. That's little girls to their dad.
She hates me. I'm a terrible father. I don't change her diapers.
You did change her diapers.
Not many.
At least 8. Or at most 8. It was at most 8, wasn't it?
Probably closer to 6, yeah. I got a couple in for the second child in the hospital.
You beat me in candy bars. No doubt, I can admit that. You beat me in candy bars, based on popular opinion. I beat you in Disney, which you can't admit to. I feel like I'm riding a little too high right now because I shouldn't be putting up this draft, what I'm putting up next, because I think you beat me pretty bad. But we're going to see.
It's your opinion.
5. We're only doing 5 spots. Draft. Make your best superhero team.
Whew! This one's over quick. Are we going just total strength, popularity, or are we just doing our favorites?
Just whatever you feel like drafting.
Well, see, okay, that's well, see, yeah, but no, I think there should be some kind of criteria going into it. Do you just want to do
who would win fights, whether that's with brain power.
Well, that stinks because there's a lot of okay, whatever. Now, are villains excluded?
Yeah, should we do only protagonists, or are we doing antagonists as well?
Yeah, I just say heroes. But you just want to do who wins fights? Really? Is that how we want to do this?
Or who builds, how would you like to do this? That's what I'm saying.
The problem is that whoever takes Superman wins.
Correct.
Like Superman, he wins everything realistically because he literally flies into outer space away from everyone else and burns the world that you're on in a fire of laser vision. So, you know what I mean? And you can make some arguments for kryptonite and stuff like that. So I think it would be better off to go with favorites, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
If we build a favorite team that people are going to support, are they going to support my favorite team or your favorite team?
I'm fine with it. And support as in my team would beat your team or your team would beat my team, I suppose.
Correct. Even if I have a weaker team, which if we were going power to power, I think you win because you know a lot more about this stuff than I do. I think that.
Yeah, because Captain America is one of my favorites because I really enjoyed him in the MCU.
Power-wise, he wouldn't be on there.
No, not even close. Yeah, because that's the conversation we haven't had yet is Team Cap versus Team Iron Man because I know you're Iron Man and you're mistaken again.
And you're incorrect. Okay, let's build most popular. That's what you're going after. Do you want
popular?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have I don't think I need a list for this one. I'm going to go favorite. I'm just going to go my personal favorites, and I will explain why.
Okay.
Do you want first pick or second pick?
I think I want second, unless you want to flip for it.
No, it's fine. So, this is definitely not a power conversation because this guy has no superpowers. My favorite hero.
I think he's the most reasonable pick. I do.
Oh no! I mean, if you're going power, it's Superman. But what I'm saying
is, I think you're going Batman. Batman's going to be.
Oh yeah, I'm going Superman. I'm going Batman. Yeah, Batman is by far my favorite character of all time. Once again, I collected comics for a short amount of time, and I read a lot of really good stuff from the comics, including a lot of stuff from the 80s and stuff like that when Batman was at his best, in my opinion. My inspiration for Batman is the idea that in a way that anybody can be Batman, and it is the human spirit and will that we really could do anything up to certain physical limitations that obviously we get into small things, but the idea that this guy worked to get this and his moral code is completely unbreakable, and I love that he's always 10 steps ahead and he has some amazingly badass moments. I think, one of the comics that made me fall in love with Batman was Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, which, I mean, it's an insanely popular. So many things have been based off of it, but it makes it to where, the Batman is the true thing, and it's like a demon that Bruce tries to, a personality that can take over, right? And he's retired. And he's been retired, and he sees these bad things happening in Gotham, and he can barely keep the bat away. And one night, the bat voice in his head is "You're nothing, an empty, hollow shell. You need me." And there's narration as he's flying through the sky in the night, and he's like, every bone in my body should be breaking, every muscle should be tearing apart, but I'm a man of 30 again. He's like, the rain on my bat symbol right now is like a baptism. I am born again. And the writing is just so good. And it's fantastic. So,
see, it's one thing I never got into that I wish I did was comic books.
Oh, it's so
I think
good.
I still can, obviously. It's a very prominent
I was having that conversation because Ashley, the girl I travel with, her boyfriend was telling her to watch Invincible, which is a really popular show on Amazon right now. And I was like, oh yeah, it was a comic. I read it all. It's fantastic. The Walking Dead, oh yeah, it was a comic. It's fantastic. It's like all these super popular things that people get into, but if they had to have read it as a comic, they never would. And I just don't get the other side, especially since the comic usually goes into is much better, frankly.
Yeah.
Much like the people who watch the Harry Potter movies and read the books are like, oh yeah, the books are better.
I think, and right now I'm reading, and I know it's not comics or fantasy right now, but I'm reading The Firm by John Grisham. Mm-hmm. And he just came out with The Exchange, which is like the sequel to The Firm. Mm-hmm. And I think that and I'm not a reader, So, like, when I read, it's a rarity. But Meg is a reader, and she likes books preferred to movies as well. And I think what happens with books is, like, you're reading it, yes, you're reading the words, but you create what the words are saying in your mind. So, like, the picture you're seeing in your mind is literally what you want to see. Whereas you see the movie, it's somebody else's picture. So I think that's what makes books so much better is you're creating your perfect scenario or your perfect picture of what you're reading or what you're understanding.
I always just say you can't do the detail of a 750-page book in a 2-hour movie. You know, it's just impossible. So
yeah, I got you. Okay, so I'm going Batman. I think Batman's clear number one, so I'll give you that. I'm going Spider-Man as my number one pick because I think that he is such a popular character, very likable character, both movies and comic books. And my number two pick, I'm playing on the movies of how well this guy did, and I'm hoping that our fans agree with me, but I'm going Iron Man on this one. So I'm going
here
Spider-Man
I
and
am
Iron
just
Man.
Playing to my favorites, not caring what the fans say. So I just want that pointed out. Okay, you're cool.
But I also like RDJ as Iron Man. I think that's the best Avengers character there is.
Well,
in the MCU.
Captain America's better, but that's, we can have that discussion later. Iron Man creates most of the problems, that are.
So you're going Superman, Captain America. That's what you're doing next.
So I definitely am going Superman. Superman. I mean, you want to talk about the strongest? Superman is basically a god. There's a version in the comics where he, everyone he knows dies, and he flies into the sun for 10,000 years, and when he emerges, he can recreate life and recreate planets, and his superpowers are absurd. But that's not why I like him. I like, once again, the idea. Quentin Tarantino is a fantastic director and writer, and in Kill Bill, Bill gives a speech about, his favorite character is Superman, and it's because he wakes up, he is born Superman.
Right.
He puts on the disguise of Clark Kent, which is how he sees humanity, and Clark Kent is weak and clumsy and stuff like that. But
nerdy.
I just like the, and so I guess if I had to go number 3 here, I would say Captain America. And Captain America is the Batman version of Superman. To me, just morally correct and everything like that. And his powers are really cool, Superman's are and stuff. But the reason I like Captain America, something really stuck with me, and I think it was just the point in my life. In Civil War, right? And actually, it was Carter. It was Carter who gave the speech that I think reflected on Steve and the thing that I like about Steve, right? Sharon is her name, right? At Peggy's funeral, said that her, when faced with an impossible decision, you plant yourself like a tree. And when the whole world's telling you to move, you say, no, you move. And it's that no matter what's happening, if you believe something is the right thing to do, that you do not break on your moral convictions. And I am a huge fan. It's like Steve is a good man and he was trying to do the right thing, and if the right thing meant that it was the unpopular opinion, and I think it's a good life lesson. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's a great life lesson, and as you can see, these are the people that I want to be in my life.
I think that and kind of just tailing on what you're saying, like Will Smith before he smacked Chris Rock, was just a phenomenal. And Will Smith is a phenomenal actor, and he's done such great movies. But one of my favorite Will Smith quotes is in iRobot, and he forever thought that the robots were bad, and so when they turn bad, he comes and he saves that girl, and he shoots that robot in the apartment, and his line there is his line there is "I told you so," but before that, when I think he's trying to find.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
being the last sane man in the world,
correct.
make me
crazy because if it does, maybe I am. And it's like what you're saying, and maybe it comes to light eventually in your lifetime. Maybe it doesn't, but he hung on to that belief that they were bad. And not that they were. It's just, I mean, the premise of the movie is different. Yeah. But like what you're saying is, if you truly believe that, no matter what everybody else says, you kind of have to ride with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my third pick. Now there's so many good superheroes, and Joker would be here if we.
Yeah. Joker's phenomenal,
especially Heath Ledger's Joker. Okay, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go with the Hulk. I think the Hulk is such a cool character. The idea of, when we were talking about owls, I thought you were going to be Hulk. There for a little bit. That's as close as you've been to a Hulk moment so far.
Logan, angry.
But I think he's a cool character. He also has a phenomenal ride at Universal Studios. Just FYI. And then
you know what that's based off of, right? Hulk.
What do you mean?
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh, like the actual character, the Hulk. I thought you meant the roller coaster. I was like, it's just based off the Hawk.
Pretty sure it's a roller coaster.
No, I did not know that, but that does make sense.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go with... I think I have to go with X-Men, and I'm going to go with Wolverine.
That is a very, very good pick.
So that's what I'm going with, Wolverine.
Guys named Logan are pretty awesome.
That's true. So you got your two to finish it off.
For me, I really, really, really like The Flash. And I think this is just from Barry Allen in general is a pretty great character. But, for me, it's just powers. Like, the Flash is, like, people are like, the Flash can move at the speed of light. No. The Flash can move faster than it is possible to comprehend speed, faster than instant teleportation. It doesn't make sense. Like, the Flash is arguably one of, like, on a Superman-type level, like, his ability to access the Speed Force and stuff like that. You can tell, by the way, I go very DC in a lot of this. I don't know if you've noticed.
3 of your 4.
I mean, 3 out of my 4. Yeah, I'm just I'm a DC character guy personally.
I'm all MC.
I know you're all MC. I know you're all Marvel.
I like Batman and Superman. I do. Batman's my number 1 too.
It's crazy because you stole. I think I was going to end up going Wolverine and play into the Logan joke a little bit.
Just for the laughs.
Yeah, just for the laughs. This is where... Hold on. I'm actually going to pull up a list.
Oh. I'm glad that I made you have to pull up a list because...
let's calm down.
That makes me feel like I won a little bit.
Oh, man. We might be done. Well, I'll tell you what. Now this is hard because now I've seen more that I'm very interested in. Oh, crap.
Gut reaction, man. Gut never lies. Your brain overthinks. Gut reaction never lies.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm looking.
1.
Give me 10 seconds. I'm a huge, that's the thing. I'm a huge Martian Manhunter fan. He's one of the most powerful characters in existence.
Howard Duck.
That's not where I was going with this. Sorry, I know this is terrible for the podcast. Alright, I'm going, it's a toss-up for me, I'll be completely honest, between Dick Grayson, who is the first Robin, Nightwing, and just because I really enjoyed his Netflix show. Daredevil to me is a phenomenal character, and the idea of dealing with the devil inside of you that he lets out on criminals and his Catholic guilt, I think is very, very interesting. I probably am more partial to Dick Grayson. I think he's just such a phenomenal character and the only other person who would ever be worthy to wear Batman's cowl, in my opinion. So, but I'll go with Daredevil. I'll bring a little MCU into it.
All right, I'm glad you didn't pick him because that's who I'm picking.
Who?
I don't even know who you just said.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Nightwing or whatever.
Yeah, Nightwing. I just call him Dick Grayson because he was Robin and he's Nightwing. So
okay, here's where I'm at.
yeah,
I mean, you have Thor, but I think that's too predictable to do because then it's all Marvel.
The
but
Avengers.
I do like Black Panther in the Marvel world. I thought Chadwick Boseman was such a good character. I loved Captain Marvel early. Hated her. The Marvels movie. I didn't hate it, but I wasn't crazy about it, and that might have been because of the side characters. I'm really excited about Deadpool coming out. I think Deadpool is a very fun character, but again, Ryan Reynolds makes that.
I just realized that I wish I picked something different. I'll tell you after you're done.
If I was going DC, I would go Green Lantern right now is who I would pick. So those are kind of the mindset I'm on. But if I
don't want to give mine away, so I'm going dead silence here.
Well, you've already picked your 5, so it doesn't matter.
I know, but I don't want to give you a great pick.
Logan, I'm not picking Ant-Man, don't worry.
I'm not talking about Ant-Man.
I think I'm going to go with... Black Panther because I like Chadwick a lot. I thought he was really good, so that's where I'm going. I'm going with Black Panther.
Are you ready for the one that I wish I'd picked?
I'll let you change it for Daredevil.
You will?
Yeah.
Leonardo.
From Turtles?
Yeah, Leonardo is awesome. Leonardo is the leader of the Turtles. He was always my favorite. I was never a Raph guy. Leonardo is legit.
Okay. I'll let you change it.
Yeah, alright, cool. I appreciate you.
He doesn't have a last name. Leonardo's TMNT.
Yeah, that works.
So you go...
Does he have a last name?
Leonardo Turtle.
Nah.
What's Splinter's last name? And if I was doing Turtles, I would do Raphael. I was a Raphael fan.
Yeah, no, like Raph's a hothead who gets into trouble. He's the strongest, but Leonardo is the cool leader of the team. There's a reason he's the leader.
Now is Michelangelo.
You know what's funny about that? So there was a great comic series once again that I read recently. Well, I didn't read it, but I kind of caught up with it in some videos on YouTube and stuff, called The Last Ronin, and it's a story of how the Foot Clan actually killed the other 3 turtles in Splinter, and Mikey was the last one, and he grew even bigger and stronger and was like gonna kill himself and stuff, and it's his final crusade as he's slightly crazy, hearing his brother's voices in his head to take down the head of the Foot Clan. You talk about a fantastic comic.
Did you see where they're making a rated R Turtles?
I think most of this stuff should be rated R in one way, shape, or form. I mean, it's
called something Ronin. I forget what it's called.
Like, hold on, The Last Ronin.
It might be.
Wait. Are you telling me this is going to be a movie?
Yeah, The Last Ronin. I think. I just read it.
If so, I mean, I'll be over... Wait a minute.
Yeah, The Last Ronin. Rated R Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle film.
Movie in the works from producer Walter Hamada. Awesome. That's great. That's literally what I was just talking about. Yeah, that'll be phenomenal. Sorry that I just ruined who the last turtle to live was, because you don't really find that out right away. Enjoy the podcast.
Spoiler alert. But you have Batman, Superman, Captain America, Flash, and Leonardo. I have Spider-Man, Iron Man, the Hulk, Wolverine, and Black Panther. So
I got to be honest, Hulk is by far the weakest of all the picks. Spider-Man is just such a... I'm trying to win this pick. So
dude, I like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and Iron Man.
I like RDJ. I think besides Christian Bale's Batman, RDJ is the best.
RDJ is way better than Christian Bale's Batman. There hasn't been a great...
I think I tend to say Christian Bale's Batman just because he's involved with Heath Ledger's Joker.
I didn't think it. Once again, I'm judging Batman from a comic lens, right? And the only even thing...
Ben Affleck's the best.
No, but I hate it because he kills people and he's not who he wanted to be at all. He just, from a physicality and movement and fighting style thing, that warehouse scene is great. But no, everything else about it is god-awful.
Hey, at the end of The Killing Joke, does Batman kill the Joker?
I believe so. I'm pretty sure the writer of The Killing Joke clarified that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, man, we're going to wrap this up.
Cool.
Week 5 in the books.
I can't believe this went 2 hours after we both came into this and said, we probably don't have much to go on today.
Yeah, it just proves how good you are at your job. That proves how good you are.
You know what? I'd be nothing without my host.
I like to think so. All right, you ready for your fade out question?
So excited. Give me something I can really get negative about. Let's go.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because this is going to hurt somebody's feelings. I guarantee you it hurts.
Yes!
It's not going to be a wide range. It's going to hurt specifically somebody's feelings. Your question.
Do you have somebody in mind?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I hope you don't either. I hope this is just gut reaction. Okay. So don't think like I hate this person.
I got it. Yeah.
Just gut reaction. What is the worst name that you could give your child?
Jay is a pretty terrible name. Jess is pretty bad. Cody, Steven, Jeremy. Yeah, those are all really bad names. Lee's a terrible name. Yeah, pretty much like Tim's a bad name. Kathy, Katie, Allie, terrible names. Tracy, Emily's really crappy. Probably Brooklyn's a terrible name. Scarlett. Yeah, Willow's a terrible name. I can't imagine who would call their kid that. Anyway, those are all horrible names. I mean,
week 5 is in the books, baby. We got 5 weeks down. We'll do another 5. And thanks for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe this time. We need that raise. Thanks, everybody.